Greetings, fellow songwriters and seekers, and welcome back to Muse Measure. If you haven't done so yet, please click the little guy in the lotus pedal down below and join us here by subscribing. All right, I've got a question today. Ralph from Toledo, Ohio, great art museum in Toledo, asks, how do you tell the difference between a song that's unfinished and one that's actually finished, but just makes you uncomfortable because it's honest? Wow, there's a lot there, Ralph. So when is a song finished? That is an impossible question, I think, to answer. You can follow the usual prescription of, verse, chorus, bridge, chorus, and maybe a coda at the end. And then you know it's finished. But if you're like me, you like to kind of shirk off all form and just go where the song wants to go. And sometimes I will just ask, okay, is this getting too long-winded? Am I going on too long? I've gone on for 4.5 minutes now. Does adding another section just make the song too much for the listener to digest? So that's a good thing to think about. And then as far as honesty and, how'd you say it? It makes you uncomfortable because it's honest. So sometimes you see this in storytelling a lot, where people feel like they have to tie it all up with a little bow at the end and give you a moral of the story. Like the end of He-Man, where he would say, the moral of the story was blah, 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 blah. And so we feel like we also need to do that for uncomfortable subjects and topics, and maybe some uncomfortable imagery or wordplay that happens in a song. Where we may have this urge to kind of soften the blow of the song and the message of it, because it may be a little too direct, a little too honest, maybe brutal, harsh. These words come to mind. And I don't think you should finish a song for that reason. You should let it be raw and naked and as pure in emotional communication as possible, so that you're not diluting it all with some kind of little moralizing bridge or another section or a coda that says, oh, everything's going to be okay. Of course, if that's the message of your song, then that's great. I was thinking about, John Lennon's Revolution earlier this morning, and it's like the chorus is, it's going to be all right. Maybe that's the message of it. So even though, maybe the verses are pretty harsh and it's balanced by a chorus that is kind of conciliatory, but you don't need to do that in your songs. If you feel like this says something and it communicates something emotionally as well as through imagery, there's an aesthetic experience there, that it's interesting, that the chords are interesting, the melody is interesting, the lyrics and the images the lyrics evoke are interesting, then I'd say it's done, and you feel like there's some kind of level of completion. And another thing you can check for is is there enough repetition and variation in it? So maybe if I'm repeating too much and those repetitions are necessary, I feel, then I might want to add another section just to give a little bit more variety, and then it'll be done. Or the opposite, maybe I'm not repeating enough, and so I think the song's done, but it would actually be really satisfying to have the chorus come back one more time, or to have another verse section come back another time. I'm dealing with this issue right now with the little piano ditty that I'm working on, and there's a lot of different parts, and so I'm feeling maybe there's too much variety, that I need to go back to the first idea and bring it back just to kind of bookend it, so that there's that at the beginning, because this is satisfying for the listener. So it's always a balance between satisfying the expectations of the listener, which you are the listener, you're probably going to be the main listener to this song. So satisfying you, if you're listening to this, does it give you a full experience, or do you feel like something's missing or it's incomplete? Then you have to ask yourself, is that the experience I want them to have? Do I want them to have this feeling of incomplete experience? So it's a really, really hard question, and something that I have to deal with a lot and try to figure out. I have another song that I've talked about in other videos called Your Leash, and it ends on a B section, which is kind of like a little pre-chorus, or maybe, I don't know what it would be called, how it would be classified by a music theorist. but it's definitely not a chorus and it's definitely not a verse. And so ending there, and it also ends on, for the song, it ends on a 4 chord, which is also not kosher as far as ending a song in a proper cadence, where it always ends on the 1. And even deceptive cadences in songs, they usually are deceiving because they create tension that will later be resolved. Now, there's plenty of songs that end like, if they're in a major key, they end up in a minor, and that's kind of what the choice that the songwriter made, is a little surprise at the ending. Okay? So these are all questions you can ask about a song, and I think probably the best advice, though, is just take a break from the song, take a couple weeks off from the song, and then play it again or listen to it again, and then ask yourself, okay, is this done? Is this complete? Have I said everything that I want to say in this song and on this topic? And have I given some kind of aesthetic experience that I like? Do I feel like it's satisfying? Or if it's not satisfying, is that what I'm going for? So these are all issues you got to grapple with, and it can be frustrating at times, but I think you'll know that that's what it is. And it's just like your relationships with people or your children, you got to let them be who they're going to be and not try to force them too much into what the expectations are. So I hope that advice is useful and those points are useful for you, Ralph. And if you have any other questions or any other specific problems that you're having with whether a song's done or not, or whether you're trying to finish something because it's too brutally honest and trying to kind of soften the honesty. I mean, there's that Emily Dickinson phrase, tell the truth but tell it slant, which means, don't be so brutal with your imagery that you alienate people or give them some kind of traumatic event in their experience of the song. But, sometimes you want to be brutally honest. So for what it's worth, I hope that helps. All right, well, best of luck with your songwriting and your spiritual practice, and I'll see you next time on Muse Measure.